Do you know who Tu Lam is? He is a former Green Beret. He has an incredible story. He is author. He has a new book out, The Way of Ronin. He's been on a lot of really cool podcasts and things, and I'm a fan. I'm a fan of his.
Welcome to the Warrior Mindset Podcast. We're your guide as you make your way through life, getting better 1% every day. We believe that life is lived and true victory won through adversity. Nothing easy is ever worth it. We believe in the warrior ethos and support those that...
So I want to go over some stuff. He made this Instagram post, and I used this in a presentation that I made, directly ripping him off. So I'm not saying that I'm like ripping him off. I just want to give him credit for this. Um, but I did kind of rip you off, man, because it's good stuff. And I want to go through this with you in this episode and share it because I think it's worth sharing. You should definitely go get his new book. It's incredible. I got to see I haven't read the whole thing. I got sort of a preview, two or three chapters thing of it, and I've heard his story before, and you know, it's an incredible story. I'm not going to do it justice here, so go listen to the Sean Ryan show, wherever you fall on that guy, doesn't matter, but it's a good show. And let's get into it. The post was by age 35 you should be smart enough to realize this, and there's a bunch of points here that he makes. Again, this is Tu Lam, former special forces guy, identifies as Ronin, samurai stuff. So I immediately was like super into him. But it turns out he's pretty good. Got this new book. So stay silent. Not everything needs to be said. What a hard lesson to learn. We recently had some events in this country. Someone took a shot at the president, someone took a shot at the former president. We had an attempted, it was not good. And I was watching that and, feeling a certain way. And then I noticed on social media that everybody and their brother and sister needed to have an official opinion. And while there are people in this world who hold official positions that probably need to have an official statement, like, the actual president of the United States, just, something like waiting 48 hours before you say anything publicly. There are lots of people that I unfollowed immediately because I was just disheartened by the speed at which they were saying some ridiculously stupid things. And you know, not everything needs to be said. You don't need to give your opinion on everything, right? That's a strong stoic approach that we've read on this same, podcast in episodes before, where it's like, you don't always have to have an opinion about something. You don't need to have an official stance. You don't need to say something when there's certain things don't need to be said. So yeah, so stay silent. Not everything needs to be said, and see where it takes you. I promise you. Promise you it'll be good. Silence is better than unnecessary drama. Kind of goes with number one. But how many times do you see, and I'm not just talking about social media, I mean, this is like in, your relationships and stuff, where people just find drama in things that don't necessarily warrant any drama. Like, it's just not, these things are not big deals, but people just make them into big deals. You can just be silent. It doesn't, like Marcus Aurelius has written, like, this does not have to be a thing. You do not have to make this a thing. You don't have to have an emotion on this thing. You don't have to. You don't have to let this thing become something that is a problem, So sometimes silence is sometimes silence is good. And there's a saying, silence is golden. Um, if you find someone smarter than you, work with them. Don't compete with them. That's very growth mindset minded, in my opinion. Um, Oftentimes, when we come across someone who might be better at something that we are into or are working on or whatever, we want to compete with them. It's just a thing that we naturally do, is like that competitive person, that type A type person, whatever. We want to compete, when in reality you should be working with them. Like this classic saying, if you're the smartest one in the room, get in a new room. You know, it's like, if you surround yourself with people that agree with you and yes men or whatever, then you're never going to truly advance or grow. It's just the way it is. So if you find someone smarter than you, work with them. Don't compete with them. Free yourself from society's advice. Most of them have no idea what they are doing. Now, that is definitely true on social media. I don't know how many times I've seen, so-called self-proclaimed professionals saying things that, I question. I'm like, well, what? My experience says this. And we see this kind of stuff so much. We often start to question our own experience. We question our own we question our own, like, abilities and things. We think that, well, this person says this, clearly they know more than me. They're Well, why? What makes you think they know more than you? What makes you think they've done more than you? What makes you think they've been around longer than you? Um, have more experience than you? So don't just fall into that. And also don't just fall into following for the sake of following someone that you idolize, right? They're not always right. The don't meet your heroes thing. That's true. I mean, I've encountered that myself. And most of the time, like two Lamb is saying here, uh, people don't know what they're doing. They have no idea. They're just kind of making stuff up. Um, I mean, I know you've seen that on social media for sure. It's better to have one friend who is happy for you, supports you, encourages your dreams, than a bunch of acquaintances who are lazy, self centered, and jealous of your success. Amen. I've, as I've gotten older, I've really begun to curate who I let in to my friend list, my friend circle, or whatever. Um, I think that's very important. When we're younger, we want to collect friends, we want to collect people, we want to be around more and more people. And I think those that really protect that and surround themselves with people who are true, I think you're going to be happier and more successful. I just do. You know, again, it's surrounding yourself with yes men and other, you know, copycats, and you fall into that. It's not going to. It's not really going to serve you. So find that small group of people, that the real ones, and we've talked about that sort of thing before on this show, and really take care of them and cultivate those relationships. No one will ever come to save you. Your life is 100% your responsibility. I have a shirt that says, "No one is coming to save us." Um, and that's so true. We spend so much time waiting for someone else to do something, or someone else to help us, or someone else to teach us, or show us, or someone else to lead, or whatever that is, that I think we forget to do the thing that we're completely capable and responsible of. So yeah, your life is 100% up to you. You cannot wait around for other people to do it for you or help you or pay for it or whatever. If you want it, you can go and get it. Yeah, it's just there, and most of the time, and it's something I tell my kids that the bar, society's bar is so low for people these days that all you have to do is just honestly try, is to show others that you're trying, that you're working hard, and that's probably all you really need to do, to really impress them, because there's so many people in this world that just aren't, and I know you see it all around you. So give your effort, and you will be rewarded. You don't need 100 self-help books. All you need are actions and self-discipline. Man, yeah. How many times have you read things or collected things on social media and you've never actually done anything with it? How many times have you read a book on how to do something but never actually did the thing? How many skills have you paid to learn but never actually done the hobby? Are you don't need those things. All you need are a few actions and just enough discipline to do that a few times, and you'll get things done. That's just simple truth, and he's so right there. That is all I have of those things that he spoke about, that by 35 you should be smart enough to realize. They're very simple things, and often you'll if you watch him, often you'll find that those it is the simplest things that really hit home and make the most difference for you. Uh, so go check him out. Go study him. It's a short one today, and I enjoy him on his social media account. So go and follow him, and let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. So love to hear from you. And until next time, get after it, y'all.